All right, what is up, Halos? How's everyone doing? I will admit I didn't have time. I was trying to find time, but I kind of put it off a little bit, and I ended up waiting too long to do semifinals predictions. But I predicted Billy, and of course, if you haven't seen the games, Weibo has upset them. So Weibo ends up winning that one, so I was completely wrong about that. Billy, were the favorites coming in. I think Weibo definitely stepped up to the mark. I was surprised to see how well they did, and it's honestly a pretty good story if they were to be able to take it all. But I'll get to that in just a minute. But Billy played really well. Um, but overall, I'm trying to remember the exact things. I saw a highlight video of it. I wasn't able to catch all the games, but overall, well played from both sides. Weibo ends up taking it. Pretty sad for Billy leading up to this because they can like them ending their year right here is pretty unfortunate for that team. They've done really well all year pretty much, so kind of sad to see, but they weren't able to clutch it out this time. So is what it is. That's the end of their team for this, so they're knocked out, and Weibo ends up advancing to the finals of Worlds. The only other team was Beijing JDG Intel Esports Club, basically JDG versus T1. I ended up predicting JDG, even though everything in my mind said predict T1 because every time you bet against T1, they always do this. They always upset me, and they always go farther than I think they're gonna go. Um, so they end up taking the favorites in JDG, and JDG ends up losing. I think it was 3-1 actually. T1 wins. So that's 2 years in a row that in semifinals, I believe, T1 takes out JDG, which is kind of crazy. But I guess they did have their number. I should have seen this coming, honestly, and I should have just predicted T1 just to be, just in case. But I ended up holding on to JDG. I was trying to flip flop on this, but I ended up doing JDG, and I lose both of these times. So crazy. I can't believe that happened. But yeah, T1 advances JGG. Unfortunately, their golden red gets cut short. I do want to mention there was let me find it real fast. I think it was the beginning of game one. Really quickly. Uh, I just want to show you guys. I think it might be up on their YouTube channel as well, so you might be able to check it out there. But basically, leading into this game, is this the start of the game? No, this is still a recap of previous. But yeah, here it is. Okay, so right before the first game starts, Caster June has this amazing like intro to this, and this whole intro going from all that part of the video all the way up till like this entire part where he intros them, so hype. I love it. It's amazing. Um, and then going all the way through this like little story that they did. They like did a whole story about JDD versus T1, and it's honestly like kind of legendary. Both of the stories would have been really good going into the finals, whoever makes it. And either way, you guys should definitely watch this like little intro. It was like so hype. Not gonna lie, I literally cried like a couple different times because it's so emotional and so like man, these two stories are so important and they've been coming up for so long, and this all culminates in this. This is like one of them gets knocked out, the other one gets to advance, and whoever wins this ends up being the favorites going into the finals. So definitely check that out. I'm sure it's on their YouTube channel, Lowly Sports or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on there somewhere, but if not, then whoops. But either way, you can check it out on the VODs. There's also like the VODs that you can just check out, like right before the first game pick and bans pretty much start. That's when that shows up. So that's pretty cool. It was really awesome to see that. And either way, T1 ends up knocking out JDG, and so that brings us to the finals, which is T1 versus Weibo. Now, obviously, T1 is a heavy favorite into Weibo, but I don't want people to count Weibo out, especially considering last year. And I know everyone's played up this trope for a long time. Um, ever since last year with DRX winning, everyone's like, well, now fourth seeds are just crazy or something. I don't know. But like the underdog story is so crazy. And I mean, both of these teams are really underdogs, honestly. But T1 is definitely heavily favored. Obviously, they have a huge fan base, which is going to be a large part of why people pick them. But also, it's just they are the safer option to pick. And it would be pretty awesome if T1 did win Worlds finally. They finally got it. All of these like players from T1 have been working towards this for so long, and this roster has been together for a couple of years. They made it to finals last year, and they weren't able to clutch it out, unfortunately. But they were pretty close to winning finally once again. Faker getting his next trophy. Um, but yeah, that was really cool, and then that would be a pretty good story for them. And then Weibo being the fourth seed from um, China, the LPL, finally getting to have their chance once again, and also just this team came from like I think someone said I think like I was watching the Joshua Jatley's JLXP, you know what I'm talking about, little podcast that he's been doing for Worlds especially, but just overall, and him and I believe Emily Rand were saying that Weibo were actually like sixth place I think of the regular season, and ended up making like a playoffs run or something, or like maybe they were sixth place during like summer and then ended up getting just barely edging into fourth at the end there or something like that. But I'm not 100% sure exactly about the specifics of the LPL's summer split, but they're fourth seed once again, just like DRX was last year, that weren't even supposed to really get to Worlds. Um, Weibo made it to Worlds just like them, and they've made it to finals, crazily enough. Um, so I don't want people to count this team out. Xiaohu, can't remember if he won Worlds before, but I want to say he hasn't. And if he hasn't, then that would be huge for him to win his first Worlds. That would be an amazing story for me because he's been on RNG for so long, and he's with like Uzi and stuff. They had always tried to get the World Championship, and they've got there to the finals a few different times, but they never were able to get it finally. But him being able to win would be huge. Obviously, the Shy won Worlds once with Invictus Gaming IG, uh, and that would be pretty interesting to see him win Worlds again. That'd be pretty cool for him for sure. Pretty good story there. And of course, all the other guys had been playing really well as well. So I don't know. Also, in a hopium would or like copium, I guess rather, would be that like man, NRG went up against the world championships and put up a good fight in the first game, especially. But they did get 3-0'd, so. But I mean, if it's the world champion, then it's not so bad, you know. It's the classic NA copium. But yeah, either way, both of these teams are going to be pretty interesting to watch. I do think it's pretty T1 favored, but I don't think you should count Weibo out, honestly. We'll see how it turns out going, but I am going to predict 2-1. I have no idea what the game score could be. It could be 5 games, could be 4 games, could just be a 3-0. It could just be a 3-0. Um, I don't think it's possible for Weibo to 3-0 T1, but I think it's possible for T1 to 3-0 Weibo. But I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like it's going to be either a 3-1 in T1's favor, maybe a 3-1 in Weibo's favor, but I think 3-2 either way is quite possible. We'll see though. That's going to be my predictions. You still have 5 days, as of recording this, I mean, you have 5 days and roughly 15 hours to get your picks in for the finals. Unfortunately, I messed up the semifinals, so I'm probably doing pretty bad in terms of points. I'm only 90 points right now, so that's a bit unfortunate. So that puts me in the top 20%, I think. Yeah, because I didn't get the top 5% because of my semifinals mess ups, which just sucks. But it is what it is. So if I do get this one though, I will be back up into the S tier. I think that's how it works. But yeah. um, Either way, thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. It looks like some people are doing. It doesn't look like anyone's gotten perfect picks this year, and at least from what I can tell. But yeah, or maybe they have. I don't know. Guess I guess maybe they have actually. I'm not sure. Either way, thank you all for watching. I do really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one. All right, peace.